Hello, my name is Sonia Ross. I'm a psychotherapist, an intuitive messenger, and an author. And this is the weekly Metatron message for May 26th through 31st. For May 26th through the 31st. So welcome. So happy you're here. Thank you for those who've watched the videos, the other two previous videos. I loved hearing from you, getting your responses and your feedback and how it resonated with you. I'm really happy to do this. I'm really happy to communicate these messages. I'm really enjoying working with Archangel Metatron's energy. So this spread, if you're new here, is for the week. Each card does not have to do with each day of the week. It's about the overall message that Archangel Metatron wants to bring forward for us. And so he's brought forward some really beautiful messages the last two times. So I'm excited to be here with you again today. So I've pulled 7 cards, and I also use a deck called the Interactive Cards, which are about bringing to light the parts of ourselves that we may have exiled or hidden. In previous videos, I've called it the shadow. The shadow kind of has a negative connotation, but I don't mean that in a negative way at all. I'm just speaking about the parts of ourselves that we've hidden from ourselves for a number of reasons, but that Archangel Metatron would like us to pay attention to and to become more attuned with this week. Okay, so I've already checked with Spirit and we have the right cards, and so we're going to begin. So the first card we have, hold on, let me move my pendulum out the way. Okay, the first card we have is Healing. Pause to receive. Beautiful. Healing, pause to receive. Okay. The second card we have is Go with the Flow, paddle on. This reminds me of the Six of Swords. Okay. So go with the flow, paddle on. This is as above, so below, heaven and earth. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Evolution, birthing the new. Okay. Other thing I wanted to say is the card 1 through 4, they actually came out the deck together. So that's very, very interesting. And I confirmed with Spirit that I was supposed to keep those. So the message is already about healing, pausing to receive, going with the flow, paddling on, as above, so below, heaven and earth, evolution, birthing the new. The dragon, fire's dragon strength. So this came up in the first reading that I did on Archangel Metatron. And then I used the dragon deck last time. The dragon deck is out of my reach this time, so we won't be using it. But the dragon is coming up again. And somebody was kind enough to remind me, we are in the year of the dragon. And I had forgotten that. Totally. I knew it, but I wasn't even making the connection. So thank you for the viewer who told me about that. So again, it's coming up again. We have the dragon strength and protection. The next one is letting go, time for release. Interesting. Letting go, time for release. And then we have inner child, hear, know me. So this is so interesting. So this inner child, the inner child came up in the first reading, right? The one I did 2 weeks ago. So it's so interesting. So I feel like Archangel Metatron, he's trying to give us a cohesive message. And so it's building up from week to week to week, because we have 2 cards that were in the first week's message. We have 2 cards that were in the first week's message. And so you can go back and listen to the first week's message. This is only the 3rd time I'm doing it. So you can go back and listen. So there's not that many if you want to listen back. And just understand that Archangel Metatron is building on what he's trying to tell us. He's building on what he's trying to tell us. And so a lot of really, really beautiful, beautiful things here, and a lot of color here. That's the first thing I'm noticing. There's a lot of color, a lot of swirling color, and a lot of movement. Because we have 3 cards here that have swirling colors. We have healing, pause to receive. We have the inner child, hear and know me. And then we have letting go, time of release. So there's some energy here. There's a lot of energy here about release and to receive healing. Yeah, yeah. So the overarching theme for the reading, though, is the inner child. So again, we're getting messages, excuse me, to work with our inner child. And I did pull a card from my inner child deck. And so it's definitely, you're definitely getting messages here to work with our inner child, to hear and receive. And we're getting a lot of these swirling colors, a lot of the blues and the reds and the greens. And the fact that we have 3 cards that have this. And then we have 2 cards that have a similar landscape in the back as well. And that's go with the flow and paddle on. Water being 2 images that have 2 cards that have images that are reflections in water. Yeah. So I definitely feel like they were also being called on to see ourselves more clearly so we can heal. And what I would say about that is a lot of times we don't want to look in the mirror or and that's a metaphor, because a lot of us look in the mirror every day, but we don't want to see what lies beneath. And I feel like Archangel Metatron is calling on us to see what lies beneath, to look a little bit deeper, and so that we can pause and receive healing. We can let things go. And when we pause, we can work with our inner child. And so again, that message around the inner child is coming up very, very, very strongly. We have to continue to work with our inner child. We have to continue to extend love to it. Don't spiritually bypass it. It's really time for us to step into our power. A lot of people, even spiritual people, religions, whatever, they always are like, but I'm religious, I'm spiritual, whatever the case may be, but why is this happening to me? And blah, blah, blah. I mean, I hate to break it to you. Nothing's happening to you. This is everything that's swirling around your life, even though it can be horrendous, is stuff that is designed to take our soul to the next level of its evolution. And when people are going through crisis and deep pain, that sounds like a lot of BS. I know. I've said the same thing myself. You're probably saying, what the hell is she talking about? That's fine. No problem. But I'm telling you what I know to be true. And if you are not ready to receive that now, that's totally fine. But one day you will be ready to receive it. Okay. And so there's a lot of color. And I honestly feel like if we're ready, we can be taken into a vortex of healing. If we're ready, we can be taken into a vortex of healing, and Archangel Metatron and our angels and guides will be there to support us. And I think one of the things that's really coming through that's really important for this time, is that it's time to see our own reflection, and that means just like becoming still so we can really see ourselves. We can see ourselves and see the cracks and see the parts that we never wanted to pay attention to, and that we can bring love and healing to them. It's about, becoming still so we can hear what's within. Okay, and so let me go ahead. Let's see what the interactive child card is. Interesting. Okay, so the card we receive here is another child. So, this is a child who is the good student, always wanted to be right, always wanted to put on the best face, always wanted to get a straight A, and, wanted to get the praise and the flowers. And as you see, this little angel, he has the light over his head, very similar to several cards in the tarot have the light over their head. But this is very much reminding me of the hangman, right? How he's hanging upside down and they have the light over their head. And he has his flowers in his hand. And so guess he's a little angel. Don't know if he's the teacher's pet or he's being rewarded because he did something well, whatever the case may be. And so we're going to see how this ties into the message. The fact that it's coming up in the inner child that is at the center of the reading is really saying to me that while you may on the surface have been this child, there is still healing that needs to be done. Whatever performative, that's too strong a word, however you presented yourself in your childhood, and maybe in your family, maybe you had to be the good one. Maybe you had to be the one who got all the A's and did everything right, and maybe people resented you for it, that your inner child needs healing as well. And as I'm doing this, I'm getting very hot. Okay, I'm getting very hot. And so and a lot of times when you work with the energy of the angels, their energy is really hot. And so I'm definitely very, very warm. And so Archangel Metatron is here. So I want to say, so if you have been one of those people who needed to be perfect, needed to have the mask of perfectionism, needed to kind of, Spirit is saying sublimate your feelings in order to continue your role in the family. If you don't know what sublimate is, it's kind of like you push everything down, 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 and so that you can continue to function. And so that's Sonia's definition. Let me give you the Google definition of what sublimate means. Let me just ask. Hold on a second. Hey Google. Hey Google, what does sublimate mean?
According to Merriam-Webster, 1. To pass or cause to pass directly from the solid to the vapor state. 2. To divert the expression of from its unacceptable form to one that is considered more socially or culturally acceptable.
Okay, so it means to divert the expression of an instinctual desire or impulse from its unacceptable form to one that is considered more socially or culturally acceptable. So as it pertains to our emotions, many of us have tried to suppress and divert our actual emotional reaction to things because it was socially or culturally unacceptable, or it was unacceptable in our families. So Spirit is calling on us to work with that part of ourselves that feels that way, to bring healing to all that has been suppressed, all that has been repressed with our inner child. Okay. All that has been repressed with our inner child. And yeah, so we're being called on to heal and to let things go. And that it's time to release some things. We're being asked to go with the flow and to remember that as above, so below. And that when we do this, we're going to birth something new. We're birthing something new. We're birthing something new, and that's tender. So remember, we have 3 children that are here. We have our inner child, we have the baby, and then we have this child. And so there's a lot of energy around the tender parts of ourselves, our inner children, and really work to bring healing with them in a new way so that we can be birthed anew. And Spirit is also saying that the spirit of protection is around us. Archangel Metatron is around us. Our angels and our guides are around us. And the fierce protection of the dragon is around us. And so for this, let me say, for those of us who have been wounded children, and we have some parts of ourselves that are very afraid to look at our inner children, to look at our parts, to look at those tender things inside of us, Spirit is saying, call on the dragon energy for strength. Call on the dragon energy from strength. And then remember, you don't have to tackle these things all at once. You just take tiny nibbles. You just take tiny nibbles. You just take tiny nibbles. It's not about, you know, that horrible phrase, like consuming the whole elephant. How do you know, I don't like that because I like elephants and I don't like anything to happen to them. But it's about just taking whatever the thing, the wound, the trauma, whatever needs to be healed, and just taking it inch by inch. How much can I do today? And just doing that much or even a little bit less. So it's not about trying to consume everything, but it's about facing it with gentleness and care and then moving from there. Okay. So really, and also knowing that you have protection around you. If you have some scared inner children that feel frightened, like the way they did when they were younger, and they don't want to face the big boogeyman or whatever, just have, you know, kids love fantasy. So tell your inner child, your inner self, you can call on the dragon energy. Call on the dragon energy, and it'll help you feel stronger. be strengthened so that you can move forward and let things go. Because Spirit is saying it's time for release. It's time to release it and it's time to let it go. And with this leaf is a symbol of rebirth, as this card is a symbol of rebirth. Because look at the colors of it. It's the color of how it is in autumn, and autumn is the season for rebirth. And so it's going to crumble, it's going to fall down, and it's going to be rebirthed, and it's going to go back into it, but we have to let it, right? Because a lot of times the things we don't want to face, they're energetically blocking us, but if we release it, it can crumble, it can, break apart, and it can go into the earth, and it can be transformed, and we can be regenerated from there. Because a lot of times we feel so heavy energetically, it's because we're just holding on and holding on and holding on, not intentionally, but we're scared because we're afraid of looking at certain things and seeing certain things and remembering certain things. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be this awful, awful experience. And so I want to reassure you, healing can take place with love, gentleness, and tenderness. It can. Like when I'm taking my clients through their process, it's extremely gentle. No one's dragging your worst kept secrets out of you, all that other stuff. That's not true. And if someone is being rough with you in the healing process, then they're really not, I would not recommend you continue to see them. You always want to work with someone who's holding you with as much gentleness and care as you need, or they recognize that is needed in the situation. Sometimes we're so rough with ourselves because we were never cared for. And so we feel like rough handling is just the way things are done. But we're moving out of the age of rough handling. And a lot of people, it didn't feel good then, doesn't feel good now. So we're moving out of the age of rough handling. If you're working with someone, make sure they're gentle. Make sure they can create a container of safety for you. They can be gentle with you. They're trauma informed. They can listen. They can do all these things because you're really being encouraged to really hold yourself with a sense of gentleness and care so that you can break down old barriers that are in your mind, so you can be birthed anew. Yeah, and that you can move to smoother waters, and that you can, kind of go with the flow. Yeah, so you're being called on as you move through this message for the week to also go with the flow and to continue to be gentle with yourself and nourish yourself from within. And Spirit is also saying that heaven and earth is within us. Now this tree looks like a weeping willow, but it's pink. Spirit is reminding us that heaven and earth is within us. It is within us. So what else are we seeing with the colors? So we have 5, 6, 7, 5, 4, 9. We have 9. We have a 1. Okay, so we're looking at the colors and we're seeing the reds and the yellows and the greens. Okay, and so, all right, okay, so Spirit is also saying it's really important that we keep our chakras all balanced. We keep our chakras all balanced because when we have a lot of this healing energy flowing through us, it can, there are things moving through our chakras. So it's really important that we work with them. Okay. Okay, so inner child, hear and know me. Excuse me, my bad. Healing, pause to receive. So that's this card. So we're being called on this week to pause to receive healing. Pause to receive healing. Stop for a moment and allow yourself to look at what needs healing today in your life. And this is right above the inner child card. It's right above the inner child card, right? And it's right next to the time for release card. So you know what needs to be done this week. You know what needs to be done or what needs to be beginning, or let the idea germinate and percolate. So healing, pause and receive. Stop for a moment and allow yourself to look at what needs healing today in your life. You are asked, hold on, let me switch to my glasses. You're asked to be still and open up to the healing power of Archangel Metatron's color rays. His energy is available to you at all times whenever you ask for it, whether day or night. Visualize yourself being cradled by angelic light that knows exactly where it needs to flow and what it needs to do. This is an intelligent, loving energy that works with your own body and auric field to give you what you need right now. This is not working like I expected. Okay, let's go back to this. Feel his loving energy flowing into your crown, higher vibrations of light that soothe, bring comfort, and can transform whatever ails you. Feel it moving down through your spine and your skeletal system, through each chakra point, to any part of you that needs healing. Let the healing also help you to switch off and to rest your mind and be taken to another dimensional space where time is suspended and only you matter. Sitting comfortably or lying down, maybe when in meditation, ask Archangel Metatron to place his hands on you, allowing streams of color to flow through you. Color is alive and is a powerful energy. Which color ray do you feel you need? Tune into the color ray that you feel you want around you and flowing through you. And that's why there's so much color in this message for this week, because Archangel Metatron wants us to pick the color that we think we need. So sit in your meditation, and it doesn't have to make sense. You may, like, for a long time when I focused on my heart, I would see pink. Okay, in the chakra system, the heart is green, but pink is also associated with the heart. And so I would focus on that color often in my meditation, the color pink. So it doesn't have to make sense, but if you see a color that you want to focus on, just focus on it. Don't try to say it's right or wrong, or that's not what this system says, or that's not what that system says. You have a native intelligence to your body that knows what is the right color for you and that you need energetically. This chosen color may change as Metatron brings down the rainbow spectrum for you, recharging and renewing and revitalizing your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual body. Realize that you can ask not just for healing when something is wrong, but can seek color to maintain well-being and prevent discord and illness. Take time to question what you presently do to achieve well-being. Are you eating well? Do you cleanse your aura? Do you release negativity and fear or store it up? Being healed involves many different facets, from changing thought processes to exercise to alternating negative habits and circumstances that cause imbalance. Let me read that again. Being healed involves many different facets, from changing thought processes or exercise to altering negative habits and circumstances that cause imbalance. Just as Metatron uses many colors to heal, you may need to look at different healing methods and tools to create optimal health. Positive affirmations, color therapy, mindfulness, meditation, and rest and relaxation. Yes. You also need a genuine desire to change and heal. So let's say something about that. A lot of people who listen to these type of videos are engaged in their healing process. Wonderful. And there are some who are just beginning. And so just want to remind, wherever we are on our process, you have to engage with your process every day. You know, you're being called on to make a firmer and firmer commitment. And so think to yourself. So think about it again, when I said about taking things bit by bit, think about one thing you can change, even if it's just a changing, going to a new thought and saying to yourself, I'm not going to think that thought anymore. I'm going to watch how I speak to myself. I'm going to watch how I talk to myself. I'm going to be mindful of the words that come out of my mouth. I'm going to try not to curse. You know, just make a small commitment to changing your mind in here, and then see how that slowly changes other things and creates a ripple effect in your life. Remember, you need a genuine desire to change and heal. Allow Metatron to help you find what helps you to maintain your overall well-being, and commit to looking after yourself as you would anything else you deem important in your life. Put your well-being first, not last on the list of priorities. Pause and be open to receiving Metatron's energy and color rays. Healing is here for you now. So just take a moment and put your hand over your heart and just breathe that in. And just say to yourself quietly, healing is here for me now. Healing is here for me now. Healing is here for me now. And take a nice long inhale and a nice long exhale. The next one is go with the flow. That's this card. Okay. Paddle on. You're asked to take a moment to think about what you really believe. Do you believe that life is a dangerous place where you're not equipped to survive, a place where unseen dangers lie behind everything? Or do you feel at peace with life, ready to allow Archangel Metatron to steer you where you need to be, flowing in your own way and power towards the next destination? The energy of flow helps you to understand that to trust in spirit means you're given what you need for your journey. You are provided with a simple boat to sail down life's meandering ways. You do not need unnecessary burdens or luxuries. You'll be given what you need at any time so that you can travel light, unhindered by heavy pressure or possessions. You are provided with a simple oar to steer yourself. How do you see this? As something inadequate for your purpose, or all that you actually need? For there are many unseen forces at work in the process of flow. If you could see this, it would make it easier for you to adopt this stance. Yet it would make a mockery of flow, which is about trust and faith. You never set off down the river unprepared, and you are always supported by Archangel Metatron at every twist and turn. You are asked to really feel into this now. Ask yourself, who makes the water smooth, enabling safe passage through the wildest whirlpools and cascading waterfalls? Even when you reach the water's edge and can see nothing of the horizon, Metatron is there to carry you and your boat safely to the next place along the way. If you would only flow and allow the spiritual realm to carry you, let go and surrender, you would be able to see the beauty all around you on every part of your journey forward. It is a journey without beginning or end, the path of eternal life that takes us through this incarnation into the next. And it is so much easier for body, mind, and soul if we let go and flow, a fluid state free of control, ego, or will that just allows life to unfold in its own pace, in its own time, in its own way. Everything is provided. Flow and you will see. So let's just take a moment to breathe and just say quietly to yourselves, I am in flow. I have everything I need. Nice long inhale and a nice long exhale. I am in flow. I have everything I need. I am in flow. I have everything I need. The next card we have for you today is as above, so below, heaven and earth. So that's this one. Very pretty. Okay. You are reminded that the rewards of heaven are accessible to you now, here on earth. You do not have to wait for an imaginary place and state of plenty and peace, a heaven that is out of reach and inaccessible. Heaven can be here today, as can all the glories of the beauty of God available in each waking moment. Look at the symmetry of the majestic blossoming tree reflected in the water. It shows that all is the same, both above and below. We realize this when we stop to pause and consider all that we came from, all that we are, and all that we will become. The cycle of life and the sacred wheel show us there is no beginning and no end. Likewise, there is no place outside of ourselves. It is all connected and all joined. All is one. The soft, luscious colors of the tree and its bountiful riches speak to the heart of the jewels of heaven, which are free to all, not needing to be earned or worked toward. This represents our natural state of abundance and joy, our eternal birthright, as always. Overladen with petals, the flowering branches reaching out and extending down to the earth offer enough for everyone. It's just waiting to be noticed, appreciated, and absorbed. Heaven is here, it says. And so let's see the picture again. A complete reflection. Look at the exquisite splendor and see it reflected, not just in the waters of the lake, but within you. For you hold all this treasure within you: beauty, light, love, grace, and wonder. You are but a reflection of the divine. It can be no other way. You are a mirror image of that from which you came and to where you will return. The principle, as above, so below, is also important for you right now. Beware of the need to honor both your divine and earthly states, and do not neglect your own physical self at the expense of the spiritual, or vice versa. So that's what I was just saying. We have to heal ourselves in all levels. A lot of times, if you're spiritual, you want to think that you're going to just kind of skirt around the trauma and the pain. But remember, at the center of this reading, we have the inner child. And so the inner child is being called on for healing, and it keeps on coming up again and again and again and again. And so Spirit is saying, Archangel Metatron is saying, you don't think that you can just, bypass your earthly state to get to a heavenly state, or you only want to deal with the heavenly state because that's the preferred state. No, you are on this earth for a reason. You came here with a purpose. You incarnated. You made a choice to incarnate in your body, to be in the body that you're in, regardless of race, sex, gender, sexuality, ability status, whatever the case may be, mental health status. You chose to be in a physical body. And so do not bypass what is necessary to take care of that physical body and to honor the physical experience. The physical experience is not worse than the spiritual experience. We chose to be in a body. Honor that choice. Take care of your body, heal your body, and work with yourself. I would say at the deepest levels possible, but that takes time to grow into that. Look at this exquisite splendor and see it reflected not just in the waters of the lake, but within you. For you hold all this treasure within you: beauty, light, love, grace, and wonder. You are but a reflection of the divine. It can be no other way. You are a mirror image of that which you came and to where you will return. The principle, as above, so below, is also important for you right now. Be aware of the need to honor both your divine and earthly states, and do not neglect your own physical self at the expense of the spiritual, or vice versa. The body needs good food, enough rest, time to relax, love, are just as important as the desire to expand intuition, learn more, meditate, and so on. It may also be that you need to balance planting your own roots firmly and deeply, nourishing what is below, with allowing what is above to flower and thrive and be sustained. Spiritual growth requires both the opening up to higher states and grounding yourself. I will repeat, spiritual growth requires both an opening up to higher states and a grounding of yourself. Otherwise, anything gained is temporary, fleeting, and unbalanced. Pulling this card implies that attention is needed in this area right now. You are also encouraged to take that which is learned and acquired and bring it into your everyday. Whether you are a healer, teacher, shop worker, or engineer, to walk your light, plant it, and be the bridge between heaven and earth, for you are truly the embodiment of both. Earth is your home, and heaven is here with us. Look and seek, and you will find it and be it. So let's just take a moment to breathe. A nice long inhale and exhale. Put our hands over our hearts if we're able to. And just repeat, heaven and earth are within me now. Heaven and earth are within me now. Heaven and earth are within me now. And the next card we're going to move to is evolution, birthing of the new. So we're being called on this week to allow something new to be birthed within us. And to allow something new to be birthed within us, there has to be space. So healing has to take place, and we have to let certain things go. Now, this one's a bit of a long one, so prepare yourself. Drawing this card shows that you are on the brink of radical rebirth or facing the birth of something new in your life. With regard to rebirth, many events and circumstances make it possible, starting with college, getting married, changing careers, or becoming a parent. Or the redefinition of self that happens after surviving a trauma, bereavement, illness, or divorce. So many life stages make rebirth possible, including age-related chapters as well, puberty, menopause, and the third age. Life itself starts with birth, ends with death, and includes many rebirths along the way, for truly nothing ever stays the same, and you are encouraged to celebrate the birth of each new chapter. You are encouraged to celebrate the birth of each new chapter, because society would tell us only certain chapters are worth celebrating. Being young, being thin, being this, being that, something that's about, eternal youth, but it's not. Aging is wisdom, and it's important that as we age, we cultivate wisdom. And for those of us who are over the 40 mark or heading towards 50 or beyond, she is saying we need to celebrate all stages of our development. We celebrate puberty, we celebrate menopause, and we celebrate the third age, which I'm assuming she means 60 and over. So keep that in mind. That we have to celebrate the birth of each new chapter of ourselves, because none of the chapters are irrelevant. They all have value, and don't let anybody minimize them because you may be of a certain age now. It may also be that a literal birth of a new child is on the way, or this rebirth may be linked to anything else that has been hoped for or nurtured and is being sent by spirit with love to you now. For this, I'm thinking that it's more internal rebirth. In the case of a child, it implies that a special soul may enter your family. One who is spiritually awake and of high vibration and exceptional light. They are born with lifetimes of experience and wisdom to help our world as we transition up through dimensional frequencies now. Know, too, that the one whom the child is born to has been chosen to nurture and sustain them. This applies as well to whoever raises them, educates them, and influences them in their childhood. Maybe you are to be touched by such a child's presence in your life in some way. Maybe they represent a new breed of human who is perfectly balanced between divine male and divine female, one who holds light and wisdom and love, who will not be tainted or diminished by surrounding darkness, and who will replace fear with hope, hatred with compassion, selfishness with sensitivity, and self-centeredness with unity. This card also reminds you of your own perfection. Each soul born in the Creator's image is equal and cherished in the eyes of God. You were born pure and whole, and your soul retains this quality throughout all existence and all realities. Within the womb, you were warm, were fed, and had everything provided for you that you needed. So too, after birth, the divine wishes to shelter you, feed you, and offer you all that you seek. If, however, you are tired, feel empty or unsupported, or are seeking help, you are reminded that the universe is a loving place. The child born expects it to be so. And you are reminded to make this assumption and request again. The universe doesn't seek to hurt or harm you, but to love and to hold you. Expect the best from the universe and it will deliver. Archangel Metatron reminds you that rebirth is possible in every single moment, giving you a chance once again to return to 0 point where creation happens and life can start again. You have the ability to reach a stage of enlightenment in this lifetime like never before, to embrace the masculine and the feminine and create a new paradigm, not just for yourself, but for your children and grandchildren to inherit. Higher consciousness is here, aided by huge waves of souls coming in that influence all living on our planet. Evolution is happening at a hurtling speed, and Archangel Metatron is here to support, steer, and birth you anew whenever you ask. Evolve. Welcome in new birth. It is time. So let's just take a moment and breathe and say to ourselves, I welcome renewal into my life. I welcome renewal into my life. I welcome renewal into my life. And take a nice long inhale and exhale. And then we move to 19, which is the dragon energy again. So the dragon energy is going to be with us, for all of 2024. It's around us, and we're being advised to call in it as much as we need for strength, for protection, for cleansing, for clearing out all energies, calling on dragon energy to help us to be born anew. Because remember, fire is cleansing, fire is cleansing, and it is the great purifier. Fire, dragon strength. One of the most powerful allies in this deck, the Metatron Fire Dragon, roars into your life, giving you strength, courage, and purification. The dragon is here to burn away and transmute any lower energies that have been around you, toxic people, neediness, negativity, fear, anger. You are reminded that as a light worker, there is a need to protect and purify your energy at all times so that you don't become depleted or susceptible to darker energies that may see your light and try to bring you down. There's nothing to be afraid of, though. That's what I'm telling you. You have nothing to fear. And now Amanda's telling you as well. The fire dragon is here to safeguard you, your home, and those you love. Call on him whenever you need him. He flies before you with a mighty wingspan and piercing eyes, able to clear your path and remove any dangers. He is able to see all from his skyline position, including that which is behind you. The pyramid contains Metatron's orange flame, and this is here for you anytime you feel an attack on your power base or divine self. The tetrahedron shape of the pyramid links to your solar plexus, and the dragon brings this powerful energy towards you to lift away any fear or negativity that sits in your core, trying to make you feel small. Whether this is your own doing or someone else's attack on your confidence, he is here now to remind you that you are powerful beyond measure. And again, whether this is your own doing or someone else's attack on your confidence, he is here to remind you that you are powerful beyond measure. Remember how many children we have in this spread. We have a baby, we have like a toddler, and then we have an elementary school child. So remember, if at any point you were attacked emotionally, physically, verbally by those in your surroundings, maybe at school, those who caregived for you, your parents, whomever it may have been, and they attacked you, which impacted your confidence, Spirit is saying, allow the dragon, the fire, to support you to burn away all these imagined imperfections. His raw strength, the dragon's, mirrors your own, which is why he often flies in when you are facing real difficulty, telling you to dig deep and see beyond the immediate problems and transmute all that is no longer needed in the fire he carries around you. His fire won't burn you. It will provide heat and courage to keep you going through times of adversity and positivity. He also reminds you of the need to have fire in your belly to speak up, to be heard, and stand up for what you believe. Maybe there has been an injustice around you, or you have strong and passionate views that others need to hear. He asks you not to be afraid to fight for what you know is right and fair. There are times, both in the collective and in our individual lives, when this is necessary. Leave no space for being walked over, disregarded, or ignored. I will repeat, leave no space for being walked over, disregarded, or ignored. Instead, call on your spiritual might and insight to tackle what needs facing with love and strength and conviction. The dragon will stay for as long as he is needed and until any challenge is won. He fights for the light, understanding that darkness exists, but knows he is equipped with everything needed for anything he may meet. And he will win and have your best interests at heart always. One of nature's correctors and balancers call on his fire to help you today. So just pause for a moment and take a nice inhale and exhale and say to yourself, I face my life with love, strength, and conviction. I face my life with love, strength, and conviction. I face my life with love, strength, and conviction. And if any part of you feels silly or judging yourself for calling on the dragon energy and it seems like something from a child, ask that part to calm down, right? Ask that part to calm down, to quiet itself, because there's so many energies that are unseen. Like basically, because we operate in our five senses in this dimension, we're basically blind, you know, because there is a multi-dimensional reality that's constantly swirling around us that we're completely blind to. But when we start to open up our energy centers and ask for awareness of the greater reality of life, you realize that this is all true. Angelic energy exists. Dragon energy exists. Unicorn energy exists. All of these energies exist to serve us. We have spirit guides. our lost loved ones, the ones we perceive as being out of body and lost, they're not lost to us. They are still here. And if we want them nearby, they can still be right by our side if we so choose it. So again, don't poo-poo anything. Don't think of anything as silly or immature. And if there's a part of yourself that has been told incorrectly that these type of things are silly or for children, they are not. These are real energies that exist in the world, and they're here to serve us. The next one is letting go, time for release. So just continue to breathe and focus on your breath. Letting go, time for release. Card number 4 links to the planet Uranus and in the nature of change and adapting to unexpected events. Now, Uranus is a very, very powerful energy. It's a very rebellious energy, and it's a planet of transformation. Do not come up here. No, sit down. Sit down. Okay. Its influence helps support whatever you are going through right now, or it may be that you somehow sense a change is in the air. You feel that change is coming soon. Letting go is appropriate for you now. You're asked, why do you hold on so tight and so hard to someone or something that has had its time? Look at your hands. Are they clenched? Is your breath shallow and your body tight from trying so hard and persevering so long? You may have been trying to control or change something that wasn't meant to adapt or that you weren't meant to adapt to or be part of this next stage of your life. Instead, bless you, Kat, instead, look at yourself and what is vibrationally right for you now. Learn to be flexible. Go with the flow. Learn to be flexible, yielding, and able to let go. The time is now here. Letting go may apply to a mindset, behaviors, or addictions. Truly, anything that makes you feel heavy or troubled that is not serving you, your attention is brought to this now. Archangel Metatron is here to help you realize that change happens all around us every day and that nothing can ever stay the same. There is a time and a season for everything. Maybe you have enjoyed or savored what you are now being asked to let go of. Know that there is a reason for every experience we have in life, every person we meet. We learn and grow from it all. Like the tree that knows when a new season approaches, you are being asked to prepare now for the change that is coming. Nature is our best teacher. The leaves that fall from the tree know that this happens to protect the life force of the tree so that new buds can appear again after the leaves have been fertilized back into the soil. Nothing is lost, nothing is wasted. It is nature's way and our way of recycling and renewing for the next period of growth that wants to appear. Know, too, that letting go can be gentle, like a soft breeze answering your soul's calling to adapt and move on. Or it can be more force, like a storm that appears that wasn't prepared for and seems needlessly harsh. Let go with grace and gentleness. Do what you already know you have to, but realize you're not being asked to do it alone. Archangel Metatron is with you, supporting you. Also be aware of the bountiful gifts that await in your future when you close this door so another can open. Choosing this card may also imply you're being carried by Archangel Metatron through a period of grief. Maybe you have lost a loved one, a person dear to you, or a pet. Maybe a change of circumstances has left you bereft, a relationship breaking up, or an empty nest. Know that the angels are with you now, bringing comfort and watching over you from afar. Be brave, breathe deep, and let go of what no longer serves you today. So let's just take a nice breath. Put our hand over our chest if we are able to. And say, I am brave. I let go of what no longer serves me today. I am brave. I let go of what no longer serves me today. I am brave. I let go of what no longer serves me today. A nice long inhale and exhale. And our final card is the inner child, hear and know me. So remember, that is the overall theme for the reading, the inner child. And remember, for the part of ourselves we want to be aware of this week that may have been in the shadow is this child. And then we have the inner child. So the theme of the week is the inner child. And the overarching theme, is the inner child. And then we're getting this other child as part of our exiled self that we need to focus on. Part of the parts of ourselves that we may have disavowed, exiled, banished, whatever the case may be, is this child. The child that maybe had to put on a mask or be performative or focus on other people's needs and not their own. Or the child's needs were not tended to. Okay. So lastly, we're with the inner child. Stop for a moment. Inner child, hear and know me. Stop for a moment. Someone is calling and you have drowned out their cries for long enough. This is the voice of your inner child, often ignored and sometimes unknown, neglected or pushed aside. Maybe you don't recognize their voice, or maybe it's familiar, but you haven't had time to fully listen to it lately. Your child lives within you, a presence that is like a hologram that is imprinted within it every experience, thought, belief, and desire from your childhood, all the times you laughed, all the times you cried, and everything in between. The times you sang freely and the times you felt unheard. He, she, or they sit within your heart. Is your door open to them or closed? Today, you're asked to open that door and allow your inner child to come forward at any age and time when they wish to reveal themselves to you. It is safe to do so. What age are you taken back to? How do they look to you today? This may be a good point to bring out your journal and journal about the inner child that sees when you say this to yourself. Notice what age they are. What age are you taken back to, and how do they look today? They may be they may be the crawling infant looking for nurture, the expectant adolescent ready for adventure, the abandoned, fearful 5-year-old, or the exuberant and happy 9-year-old who loved life and embraced every moment. Metatron was with them then, just as he is with you now. Maybe you can see angels in childhood, but maybe you sensed angels in childhood, but weren't allowed to fully embrace them. You may have been misunderstood or been afraid of their light, but they were always there to help, not hinder, just as they are now. Allow Metatron to reveal the glory and the beauty of his kingdom for your child to see with new eyes, the love that is now here for them. As your child comes forward, allow them to be wrapped in Metatron's rainbow wings, bringing healing and comfort and support to whatever is needed right now. You're encouraged to meditate, speak aloud, or write down any feelings that arise from connecting to your inner child. What do they say? How do they feel? What do they need? Look into the kind, loving eyes of Archangel Metatron and see and feel how he understands everything and acknowledges all that you have been through and offers a new beginning for your child and you. You are a precious soul, a unique being, and you matter. As a child, you were put here on earth to laugh, play, learn, and explore. If this didn't happen, you can begin again. It may seem difficult at first to play or feel free, but you can do it. Tune into what your child wants to do today. Bake a cake, go cycling, eat ice cream, get creative. They will tell you if you listen. Together, you can heal from the past, learn to live happily in the present, and look forward to the next phase of life. healed, whole, and intact. Adult and inner child together, reunited, happy, and belonging to each other, finally free. So just take a nice moment to inhale and exhale this message. And say to yourself, I am whole, I am healed, I am intact. I am whole, I am healed, I am intact. And take a nice long inhale and exhale. And so that is our message for this week, for the week of May 26th to May 31st. If you would like to explore a multidimensional healing session with me, that information will be linked in the box below. These sessions are very deep. They take us to our multidimensional reality, and they heal our energetic body in a multitude of ways. If you like more information, you can read about it on my website. Please take in the message that came forward today from Archangel Metatron. I felt like it was nourishing, it was lovely, it was beautiful, and is meant to guide us for the week. Please let me know your thoughts, feelings, or comments below. My name is Sonia Ross. I'm a psychotherapist, an intuitive messenger, and an author. It is my honor to do this with you each week and be a messenger for Archangel Metatron. So I'm wishing you much, much peace in your week. Peace.